It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout Shortcast video, and with me is Amy Roth, who is going to be on the City Council for Newton after the first of the year. She's running unopposed. So Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am originally from Illinois, and I was born in Downers Grove, and then I raised our kids with my husband in Aurora, Illinois, and we moved here 5 years ago.
What kind of things were you involved in Aurora, Illinois?
I did a lot of work for newspapers because that is what my degree from college is in. And I also worked for schools, and I raised my kids mostly as a stay-at-home mom, and I did a lot of newspaper writing from home. You know, in the evenings I'd go to city council meetings, I'd write it up, and then I'd send it in. And so those are the kinds of things that I used to do.
You did PR too, didn't you?
I did PR. I did PR for the local library, for the local park district, and I worked for our mayor of Aurora, Illinois, which is the second largest city in Illinois.
Did you ever go to Rockford at all? I lived in Rockford.
Yeah, I've been to Rockford.
Rockford had a good park district too, you know.
Illinois has great park districts, yes. I will say. They do.
We had like an ice carving festival or something one year. Rockford's a neat town, let me tell you. I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit, folks. High-tech operation here. What can I say? Yeah, we were talking off the air about radio stations. They have great radio stations in the Chicago area, WLS, WCFL. It's a whole different story. Anyway, okay, so the next question is, what brought you to Newton?
So my husband and my husband's name is John. I don't think I mentioned that before, but we're both retired. And we were looking to get out of Illinois, just kind of the taxes and you know, it's just so crowded, so congested. And so my daughter went to school in Ankeny, met her husband. They ended up here in Newton, had 3 little boys. And so the boys are here, the daughter's here, the son-in-law is here. That brought us here.
Okay. Why would you want to be on city council? That's the next good question. There's all these things going on, and you could get calls about stop signs being put on streets, and a dog's waking me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, or I have potholes, and there's all these things happening. Why would you want to be on the Newton City Council, Amy?
You know, I figured, because I was asked by someone if I would run, and I thought, will I ever have this chance again, you know, to really get involved in city politics in a different way from how I was involved before? You know, I used to go to a lot of city council meetings. I covered them for the newspaper. I went to city council meetings to help the mayor out when I worked for him. And so it's something that I'm very familiar with, but in a very different way. I've never sat in a council seat before.
Oh boy, this will be a new challenge. You'll be pulled in a lot of different directions. Are you ready for that?
I think so. I think I am.
All right. I didn't ask you about this in the podcast, but you have grandkids.
I do.
So what do you think of the school system in Newton? I'm a little sad because you represent Southwest Newton. I grew up in Southwest Newton, and they're closing Woodrow Wilson, my alma mater, here pretty soon, in a year or two.
Yeah, well, you know, I actually substituted as a parapro. We had talked a little bit before about things that I did when I moved to Newton to get to know people. And I did sign up to be a substitute teacher. And the teachers in the Newton School District are amazing. Nothing short of that, at least the teachers that I worked with. And I worked all the way from preschool up to about 6th, 7th grade. Never worked in the high school. But it is a job that, personally, I think city council is going to be a breeze compared to what teachers have to face every single day. And so I think they're doing a great job. I will say that my 3 grandsons go to Newton Christian School.
Oh.
They're doing an excellent job. They're expanding. And I think that we have really great educational opportunities. I know some people take advantage of neighboring, you know, towns and their school districts. They think it's a better fit for their kids. So more power to you there. And I think that there are some issues in schools. And again, maybe why I'm glad that I'm not running for school board.
Okay, all right. Tough call for school boards these days, especially in Des Moines. So we won't go there. That's a whole different kettle of fish,
yes,
right?
It
right.
is.
Okay. Let's talk about the budget because we touched on that briefly in the podcast. Budgetarily, the City Council takes care of a lot of that. Where do your priorities lie?
Well, and one of the things we talked about was recreation. I'll tell you, with 3 little grandsons and all of their friends, I keep saying little. Maddox, my oldest, is 14.
Oh, okay. So he's growing up.
He'll be in high school next year. And there's great opportunities for kids to get involved in soccer and football and, all of these great sports that I actually never played as a kid. But I think that we need to go a step farther and just make sure that there are opportunities for all kids, because otherwise, where are they going to be? On their phone. Or if they're not busy, they will find something to keep them busy. And
Sure.
it might not be the thing that grandma or mom and dad want. So let's get them involved in lots of after-school activities and keep them busy. That's
Okay.
the best thing.
So, Amy, if people want to contact you, if they have questions about the City Council, which you'll be going into after the first of the year, how can they contact you?
If they would want to look me up on Facebook, I am under Amy Fisher, Fischer, Roth, on Facebook. And so that's probably one of the best ways to get me. So, and we'll get more information out there as long as I don't have a write-in candidate that totally sweeps the board there. But yeah, after the election, we'll get some more info out there.
Amy, thanks for talking
All
with me.
right. Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it.
Jamie.
Amy Fisher Roth, representing Southwest Newton. Which ward again?
Ward 4.
Ward 4. So, yeah, if you live in that part of Newton and you have questions or concerns, make sure you get in touch with her, okay? That'll wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Till next time, grr, out is out. See ya.